Hey guys, this is Weir, roadtoweir.com. Haven't been done a recording from the Jeep in a while, so I thought, yeah, now's a good time. Good a time as any. Today I want to talk about why silver investors should embrace the crypto craziness. I've talked about this a few times, but it's really not sinking in to a lot of hardcore silver guys who refuse to think about the ramifications of the cryptocurrencies. And yes, I agree, all this money should have flown into into silver instead of the cryptos. Not instead, but this craze in the cryptos right now is twofold. Number one, cryptocurrencies are a form of money. Yes, they are a currency. When the banking system fails, obviously people will be looking for a replacement. Gold and silver are not in the hands of the people, so it would be a lot easier to use the cryptocurrencies, which everybody has an iPhone. Not everybody, but most people have a smartphone and can get involved. So, I mean, that's just an obvious thing. If you take your brain out of the metals-only world, you'll get this really easy. But at the same time, gold and silver are still massively important to the system. For all the reasons they always were. You know, it's the scarcity issue. For silver, it's the industrial use issue, which I think it will be so strong to take it out of the currency realm. But I think gold, there's plenty of gold to use as currency as well, and a store of value. So yeah, all the reasons to be in gold and silver are still the same, but obviously they're being suppressed. So when the suppression will end, I don't know. You don't know. Probably Steve Mnuchin doesn't even know when he's going to stop pressing that, clicking the mouse and suppressing the price of gold and silver. So if nobody knows when it's going to end, why not join the cryptocurrency craziness? And the other thing, I mean, the biggest thing, obviously, is that the cryptocurrencies are here to stay, and it's not just as use as a currency. It's the blockchain technology, it's funding new companies, this ICO model, initial coin offering model, although it's struggling a little bit right now, not because it's not a good idea, but because the networks aren't big enough, can't handle the volume of these new ICOs, and the big money is in there trying to manipulate everything and throw monkey wrenches in the whole process. Nothing new for the cryptocurrencies. So yeah, if you're into an ICO, good for you. Some of them are absolute home runs. Veritasium still hasn't been offered up on a true exchange, but preliminary exchange trading on what's called Ether Delta shows that it's at least worth around $100 a coin, when you know the ICO started at $2. So yes, there's money to be made in the ICOs. You just got to pick the right one, obviously. And it takes a lot of research, but it's a new model, a new way to fund companies outside of the banksters. I mean, there used to be the IPO model, but ICOs, you can raise money, lots of money, very fast. And if you have a good idea and a good company and a good process in place, yeah, you're gonna do really well, as being seen right now with the newly minted crypto billionaires. So yeah, the process of changing the way companies are funding themselves, going around the banksters. You know, the banksters are in there trying to get their hands on these ICOs too. So yeah, it's the wild west. But why would any silver investor, someone who knows what's going on with our monetary system, somebody who understands the law of scarcity, why wouldn't they get into the cryptocurrencies and embrace it instead of just poo-poo it? I mean, clearly Bitcoin's been around long enough, although Bitcoin has issues, and I'm not happy with this whole SegWit thing with Bitcoin not being usable for the people at the most critical time. But I'll do a video on that this afternoon. There are other coins to use other than Bitcoin for that stuff. And I think it's great. It's not good for Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is going to lose the potential of being the savior of humanity. But hey, you know, it's one of those things. Do you want safety? Do the people who own Bitcoin want safety, or do they want to have liberty? And they have chosen safety. So bravo, you Bitcoin current billionaires. But there's other coins out there that I will talk about later this afternoon, and I'll post a video up. And the potential is huge. I mean, if Bitcoin wants to back away from being used on day-to-day transactions, I think it was a huge mistake by these programmers who kind of shanghaied it. But hey, it is what it is, and the universe provides, so there are alternatives that I think will go gangbusters, you know, once Bitcoin opens that door of BIP 148 or whatever they're going to do at the end of July. But really, I mean, this is all the growing processes of something new, something not revolutionary but evolutionary. The whole way businesses run, transactions are being business is being transacted is changing. And it's changing fast, and it's changing furiously. If you pick the right companies, you're going to get rich right now. But a lot of this stuff is not about getting rich. It's about getting the banksters out of our hair. And what silverbug doesn't want that, right? You kill the banksters and you win. So yeah, it's a really interesting time in our world. And I think Bitcoin or silver investors should be really excited. I'm a huge silver investor. I understand it. I know what's going on. I am really excited about the cryptocurrencies. One, because I know it's a way to go around the bankers without them taking their cut. And the more we do it, the more power they lose. But also because these crypto people, the people I'm involved with, and the people who know what's going on and have that vision of where this technology might take us, are becoming extremely wealthy. And with that wealth, they will also, most of them, understand what's going on with our monetary system. It's pretty much, you know, a guarantee that if you're in Bitcoin, you understand the reasons that the U.S. government and the powers that be are controlling the price of gold and silver. And you understand their importance. So yes, these crypto billionaires are going to be buying lots and lots and lots and lots of silver, physical silver, and taking possession. I know, how do I know this? Because I'm doing it. That's exactly what I'm doing with my crypto gains. Every once in a while, I'll take 10% off the table, throw it into physical silver. 10% off the table, throw it into physical silver. It's a no-brainer type of situation. You just got to be able to ride the waves of the cryptocurrencies, because they're going to go up 50% and down 50%, up and down and up and down. And you know, there's a lot of manipulation going on from the big banksters again, but they're not as good at manipulating this. And this manipulation is them wanting to get their hands on it, not for them to control like the price of gold and silver. This is all about them getting in on something that's an amazing idea, and they know it because they don't even trust themselves and each other. So we saw what happened in 2008 when banks stopped lending to each other because they didn't trust the credit of the counterparty. That's exactly what's going to happen again. And now they're getting into the cryptos because they don't trust each other. And I think it's a great thing for the cryptocurrencies. I think it's a great thing for humanity if we do have honest markets come out of all this. And I think that's exactly what Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies represent, is honest markets, which is a revolutionary type of understanding given the amount of manipulation, the amount of crony capitalism, the amount of fraud at the largest banks in the world, who basically control our government. You know, why the head of the U.S. Treasury is the ex-head of IT at Goldman Sachs is an obvious reason. Steve Mnuchin, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, uses computer programs to rig the market. He keeps it going. This is all a computer rigging game. So yes, it's going to continue until it ends. And when it ends, we're going to be sitting there and say, oh my God, all the banks have crashed. We've lost all our money. What are we going to do for money? We're going to have a few choices. One, we have our Constitution, go back to gold and silver. Is it possible? I think it is possible with gold. I think the U.S. has a lot of gold we've been saving up. I know we have a lot of gold we've been saving up. Probably well over 1 million tons within the U.S. No, it's not the 8,000 tons that they say they have. And yes, the gold at Fort Knox is probably gone. But that's not the only place you can store gold. You can store gold in the ground, which they have done for hundreds of years. You can store gold in desert wildlife preserves, like Dianne Feinstein has done in California. So yes, there's a lot of places to store these massive amounts of gold that the world has. Just study the book Gold Warriors by Sterling and Peggy Seagrave, and you'll get the idea. Because there is just so much gold, and it is so manipulated and so controlled that I think we can use it as money, and that's what the Fed, Boston, in their documentation, in their pamphlets, in their Road to Ruta comic books, that's exactly what they're saying. We will return to a gold standard. Now, having said that, this was prior, all this stuff is prior to the invention of Bitcoin, which was the revolutionary invention of Satoshi Nakamoto, who I believe it was actually Alan Greenspan and other people within the Fed and within the CIA and the NSA. I do believe they are working to take down the current monetary system. I've said it all along that Alan Greenspan's whole idea was to rig the market with computer programs that he invented in the 1960s. He was the world's premier financial computer programmer in the 1960s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s. And as soon as he left the Fed, he went and he wrote the Satoshi white paper, which was published, in 2009. He left the Fed, I think 2007, right around there. Yes, Greenspan is a computer genius, an expert at computer programming, has been for decades. So those who don't get what I'm saying at all, go to Road to Ruta, find out the truth about how our monetary system is controlled and rigged, and the plan to destroy the monetary system from within the Federal Reserve and from within the U.S. government. That was always the idea. Print as much money as you could, soaking up all the benefits before you walked away. And I think we're getting near the end of the game, and the walk away is coming. Trump is working for a group of people I like to call the good guys. You know, he isn't the main guy. If they take Trump out, there's people behind him. But they're getting ready to take down the bad guys. And when you take down the bad guys, you're going to take it all down. So be very careful out there. Keep everything in your own possession. Keep your physical silver in your own possession. Your physical gold in your own possession. Keep your physical Bitcoin in your own possession. Yes, physical Bitcoin. Offline storage, either in a electronic wallet like the Trezor. And there's a couple others out there that are good. But I like the paper wallets. Paper wallets is like, I mean, you can't get more physical than that. Or if you're real smart, you can just memorize your private key and you can walk around with your billions of dollars in cryptocurrencies in your head. If you're really like Rain Man type smart. Anyway, so yeah, I think the silver bugs that are so anti-crypto don't get it, unfortunately, and it's sad because the cryptos are going to be ultimately what saves silver. They're going to be out there buying as much silver as possible, the crypto investors. So I'm doing it. I know a lot of my friends are doing it. The exact same thing. You're in the crypto market. You're doing well for the most part, and it's the very, very, very early days still, unbelievably. Bubbles do not happen when only like a 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of 1% of the population is involved. Bubbles happen when more than 50% are involved. So there's a long, long way to go for the cryptos. You gotta figure out which the right ones to get are. If you're getting into the ICOs, most of them won't pan out, especially during the economic chaos I see coming with banks failing. 2 banks failed in Italy on Friday night, I just heard. So you're looking at a derivative problem there. They weren't huge banks, but they weren't small banks. I think it was 50 billion total. Nah, something like that in derivatives that were triggered. It is crazy out there, and everything is teetering on the brink of disaster. So make sure that you get your cryptos, get your silver, get your gold, get your supplies, get everything on your own possession. In your own possession. If you don't hold it, you don't have it. I don't care who you are. If you don't hold it, you don't have it. And I do hold my cryptocurrencies in paper wallets or in electronic wallets offline, out of the system. If the internet goes down, then I still have my private keys. When it comes back up, I can access the exact same amount of cryptos I had before. I'm not worried about any third-party exchange crashing or third-party wallet crashing, because I hold my own destiny in my own hands, and you should too. And now's the time, because everything is about to implode, teeter. I don't know exactly how it's going to go down. My friend Cliff High is saying that it'll probably be crashes and fixes and crashes and fixes, and we'll just hobble down this road for quite a while, which is really good for the cryptos, because people will still have the money to have the fiat money to get into cryptos as this system wobbles. So long way to go for the cryptos, my friends. And you silver investors who have been holding out all this time and are worried that you didn't get in on the early days of the cryptos, it is the early days, my friends. It is the way early days. And you can get in or not. You can participate or not. It's the best thing for your silver investment and the best thing for your gold investment, because the richer these crypto guys get, the more physical silver they'll be taking off the exchanges, taking out of the hands of the banksters like JP Morgan. My ultimate goal is to buy all of JP Morgan's physical stash right now. Over 500 million ounces of silver. That's my goal, is take that off them. Wouldn't that be cool? I think the crypto guys, if we want to start some kind of cabal, the crypto cabal, to buy up all JP Morgan silver, we could do that. Anyway, this is Big Weir, road to Rooted.com. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Send it to your friends, because they'll all be talking about it come Monday morning, and you want to be the first into your crypto, and you want to be the first to convert your crypto earnings into physical silver, because we got a long way to go, my friends. We'll talk to you later.